This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Thursday, August the 30th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, the National Union of Public Workers has rubbished newspaper reports that General Secretary Roslyn Smith was being hauled before its highest decision-making body over the use of the union's credit card. Following a meeting of the union's National Council yesterday afternoon at the NUPW's Dalkeith Road St. Michael headquarters, Acting General Secretary Delcia Burke said the reports were a figment of someone's imagination.
The National Union of Public Workers, through its National Council, wishes to say to the public of Barbados that an instruction was never given to anyone to summon General Secretary Sister Roslyn Smith to a meeting to conduct any investigation. The union also wishes to say that Sister Smith was never, her use of the union's credit card was never any subject of any investigation. And the union also wishes to say, and this is, I think, more important than anything else, that there was never any unauthorized use of the union's credit card by Sister Roslyn Smith.
Smith did not attend yesterday's meeting because she is on holiday, and as Burke pointed out, she was never summoned. Meanwhile, Union President Akani McDowell, who chaired the council meeting, left before it was over. He later told Barbados Today by telephone he had adjourned the meeting because Smith was absent. He said she was critical to assessment of the issues on the order paper, but he didn't give details. In other news now, members of the Police Service Commission are being told they do not have to resign, despite a letter from Minister of Home Affairs Edmund Hinkson asking them to step down immediately. Queen's Counsel Hal Gollop himself, the chairman of the Employment Rights Tribunal, told Barbados Today yesterday afternoon the appointment of the commissioners was not at the minister's pleasure and neither was their removal. In fact, Gollop sought to make it clear that unlike statutory boards, the appointment of the chairman and members of the PSC was a constitutional provision.
A chairman may be removed in the manner in which a judge is removed. That is, if he somewhere disqualifies himself through mental disability or something, or for misconduct. So if neither of those is present, it really is left to the chairman himself whether he will put the request through the Minister of Home Affairs to the test.
A 25-year-old unemployed mother of two is crying out for help in supporting her children that include a 3-year-old special needs son. Marian Powell says she has been looking for help during the last few years but keeps getting the runaround from politicians and the welfare department.
Women leave. Now, as I tell you, they want to highlight in the paper so that people could see what mothers that got children with disabilities is going through, because like, are you the only one? You know it's going to be welfare. They ask you all your business and they will tell you you can't get any help. Because I don't have to think that you just want money to spend on yourself. And a lot of people that get welfare that don't deserve it. He's a child with a disability, he should get welfare by any means.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We're back with news from the region now. The joint trade union movement in Trinidad has given the government 24 hours to explain and reconsider its position on the closure of the state-owned oil refinery Petrotrin. The movement warns that if the government fails to do so, it will be war.
What you have just done is announce war on the trade union movement. That is what you have done.
Standing in solidarity with the Oilfield Workers Trade Union and the thousands of petrochem workers set to be let go, JTUM has issued an ultimatum. It says the government has to clear up all the uncertainty regarding the pending petrochem refinery closure, as well as reconsider its position on the closure and come to the table with OWTU to engage in collective bargaining, or else.
If the PNM government, led by Keith Rowley, and the board of Petrotrin are not prepared to do that, then what happens next will be at their feet. It is not the trade union movement to blame for what comes next.
And on the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump is blaming China for stalled nuclear talks with North Korea. We pick up the story in this Reuters report.
As nuclear talks between the U.S. and North Korea appeared to be at risk of falling apart, President Donald Trump on Wednesday ramped up the blame on China.
I think we're doing well with North Korea. We'll have to see. I think part of the North Korean problem is caused by our trade disputes with China, and I think that China makes it much more difficult in terms of our relationship with North Korea. When I came into office, I purposely didn't do much with respect to the trade on China because I wanted to see if we could work out North Korea.
Trump had claimed victory after he met in Singapore with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. The two men agreed to a vague pledge to work toward the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula without a timeline or a verification program.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates or like us on Facebook and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Now you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.